Welcome back, brave souls and dreamers, to Hidden Pages. Today, we're not talking about a famous historical figure, but a journey that is perhaps even more relatable and deeply personal. It's the story of a decision I made, a leap of faith that transformed my life, why I chose to leave a well-paid, comfortable job to pursue what I truly loved. This isn't just about changing careers, it's about listening to that quiet, persistent voice within you, the one that whispers about purpose and passion, even when the world tells you to stay safe. If you've ever felt that pull, that yearning for something more, or if you're standing at a crossroads wondering if comfort is truly worth sacrificing your dreams, then this detailed and deeply personal story is crafted just for you. Prepare to be incredibly motivated by the realization that sometimes, the greatest risk is not taking one, and the richest rewards are found not in your bank account, but in your soul. Chapter 1: The Golden Cage. When comfort feels like a compromise. For years, I was living what many would consider the dream. I had a well-paid job at a reputable company. The benefits were excellent, the office was modern, and my colleagues were pleasant. Every month, a substantial paycheck landed in my bank account, providing a comfortable cushion. I could afford a nice apartment, travel, and rarely worried about finances. From the outside looking in, I had achieved stability, success, and security. But here's the secret truth: behind the facade of comfort, I felt a growing sense of disquiet. It wasn't about the work itself being terrible, it was just uninspiring. My days were filled with tasks that felt routine, repetitive, and lacked true meaning for me. I was good at my job, I could perform it efficiently, but there was no spark, no genuine excitement that made me jump out of bed in the morning. I remember staring at my computer screen, the numbers blurring, the spreadsheets mocking me with their predictable order. I'd catch myself daydreaming, not about the next promotion or bonus, but about entirely different worlds, about creating, about connecting, about pursuing the interests that truly lit me up outside of work hours. Those fleeting moments of passion felt like a vibrant color trying to break through a dull gray canvas. This feeling wasn't a sudden revelation, it was a slow, persistent gnawing. It started as a whisper, then grew into a gentle nudge, and eventually, it became a loud, undeniable shout in my soul: is this all there is? Is this what I worked so hard for? To be comfortable but unfulfilled? I realized I was wearing what I now called golden handcuffs. The financial security was binding me to a path that, while lucrative, wasn't truly mine. This was the uncomfortable truth: being well paid wasn't enough if my heart wasn't truly in it. And once you acknowledge that truth, it becomes impossible to ignore. Chapter 2: The Whispers Become a Roar, Identifying My True Calling. Once I admitted to myself that comfort wasn't synonymous with fulfillment, the next, even more daunting question emerged: if not this, then what? This was the hardest part for many, and it certainly was for me. It's easy to criticize what you don't want, but much harder to articulate what you truly desire, especially when it feels impractical or risky. I started a process of deep self-reflection. I looked at what I genuinely loved to do outside of work. What did I spend my free time on? What topics made my eyes light up when I talked about them? What problems did I feel compelled to solve, even if they weren't part of my job description? I noticed my passion for storytelling, whether through writing, speaking, or visual mediums. I realized how much joy I found in connecting with people on a deeper level, helping them unlock their own potential. I remembered the pure satisfaction of creating something from scratch, something that resonated with my authentic self. It wasn't a single, clear path immediately, but a collection of interconnected interests. It required courage to explore these passions without judgment, to quiet the voice of self-doubt that whispered, "You can't make a living doing that." I began to educate myself, take online courses, read books, and connect with people who were already doing what I admired. I started small, experimenting with personal projects during evenings and weekends. This phase was crucial. It wasn't about quitting cold turkey, but about exploring, experimenting, and building conviction. The more I delved into these areas I truly loved, the more vibrant my life became, even while still in my golden cage. The contrast between my passion projects and my well-paid job became starker. The whispers about doing what I loved were now a resounding roar, undeniable and electrifying. I was no longer just dreaming, I was actively building a map to my own fulfillment, one small step at a time. This clarity was the fuel for the audacious decision that was about to come. Chapter 3: The Leap of Faith, Trusting the Unseen Path. Making the decision to actually leave was terrifying. It wasn't just about me, it was about the perceived stability, the expectations of family and friends, the fear of the unknown. The well-paid job represented security, a known quantity. Stepping away meant diving into an ocean of uncertainty. I spent months planning. I built up a financial cushion, enough to cover my expenses for a significant period. I honed the skills I would need for my new path. I networked relentlessly, connecting with mentors and potential collaborators. This wasn't a reckless jump, it was a calculated leap, fueled by a deep-seated conviction that the risk of regret was far greater than the risk of failure. The day I handed in my resignation letter was surreal. My boss was surprised, perhaps even a little confused. "But you're so good at your job," they said. "The future here is bright for you." And I knew they meant well. But the future there wasn't my future anymore. With each word I spoke, a weight lifted from my shoulders. It was simultaneously the most frightening and most exhilarating moment of my professional life. As I walked out of that office for the last time, there was no guaranteed safety net, no immediate flood of new income. There was just a profound sense of freedom and an overwhelming feeling of rightness. I was choosing authenticity over expectation, passion over comfort. It was a choice born from self-knowledge and courage. I was trusting that even if the path ahead was unclear, it was ultimately leading me to where I was meant to be. This was the moment I stopped living someone else's dream and started building my own, brick by uncertain brick. Chapter 4: The Unforeseen Challenges and Unimaginable Rewards, Living My Truth. Life after the leap was, as expected, not a straight line upwards. There were moments of intense struggle, periods of self-doubt, and the cold reality of inconsistent income. I learned new skills rapidly, stretched my comfort zone daily, and sometimes worked harder than I ever did in my well-paid job. There were days I wondered if I had made a terrible mistake. But then, something extraordinary started to happen. Even through the difficulties, I experienced a level of satisfaction and joy that money could never buy. I felt alive every single day, energized by the work I was doing, even when it was challenging. My days were filled with meaning and purpose, knowing that I was building something authentic to me, contributing in ways that genuinely mattered. I discovered a wellspring of creativity and resilience I never knew I possessed. Every obstacle became a lesson, every small victory felt monumental. The people I met on this new path were different. They were passionate, driven by their own loves, and incredibly inspiring. My network transformed into a community of like-minded individuals. The financial rewards didn't come overnight, but they did come. More importantly, the non-financial rewards were immediate and immense: the freedom to choose my projects, the flexibility to manage my own time, the deep satisfaction of seeing my efforts directly translate into impact, and the profound joy of living in alignment with my true self. I learned that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. And that fulfillment isn't found in a comfortable box, but in the boundless space of pursuing what truly makes your heart sing. Looking back now, there's no doubt in my mind, leaving that well-paid job was not a sacrifice, but an investment. An investment in my happiness, my purpose, and my authentic life. And it has yielded returns far richer than any paycheck could ever offer. Chapter 5: Your Leap Awaits, Lessons from a Life Lived with Purpose. My journey isn't unique, nor is it exclusive. It's a testament to a universal truth: true fulfillment rarely comes from living someone else's definition of success. It comes from daring to discover your own. So, why did I choose to leave my well-paid job and do what I really love? Because the cost of staying was greater than the risk of leaving. The golden handcuffs were beginning to chafe, and the quiet disquiet of an unfulfilled life was louder than any financial security. Because I believed in the power of my unique voice and passion. I realized that my empathy, my drive to connect, and my love for storytelling weren't just hobbies, they were my strengths, waiting for the right platform. Because I dared to ask what if? What if I could build a life around what truly energized me? What if true success was measured not by status, but by joy and impact? Because life is too short to be merely comfortable. It's meant to be lived with vibrancy, purpose, and genuine excitement. If you're reading this, and a part of you is whispering, or perhaps even shouting, about a different path, here's what I want you to remember. Listen to that inner voice. It's trying to tell you something important about your true desires. Don't demonize your current comfort, but don't let it paralyze you. Use it as a launching pad for careful planning. Start small. Explore your passions on the side. Gain clarity before you leap. Build your runway. Financial and emotional preparation are key. Embrace the fear, but don't let it win. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Trust the process. The path won't always be clear, but if you're aligned with your purpose, it will unfold. My journey taught me that the bravest thing you can do is to define success on your own terms. It's to chase the feeling of being truly alive, even if it means stepping away from the familiar. It's to understand that the greatest investment you can ever make is in your own authentic happiness and fulfillment. Your leap might be different from mine, but the courage required, and the rewards gained, are universal. Are you ready to find your own path to what you truly love?